another researcher wrote to me just yesterday, said, if people only read the Constitution, they would be horrified and shocked if they knew it was, what it was. But she says, everybody says they read the Constitution, but they don't sit down and read it and take a whole day to digest what the words mean. It's technical.
Of course. I mean, doesn't it make you, like, with your insurance policy, not want you to read it?
Yeah, exactly. Same thing as an insurance policy.
Right, and the only reason it comes into severe importance is if you get into an accident,
Yeah.
Other than that, it's like, oh, please spare me this stuff.
Right. Well, that's like Chuck Baldwin, who's a preacher on the internet.
Yeah.
All right, he wrote an article, and he was speaking for the National Committee on the Constitutional Party on October 25th. And his opening was, Christians should support the constitutional government.
Right.
Well, I wrote back to him.
Yes, you did.
Oh, yeah. You got that, right?
You want Christians to support the corporate bylaws of a private corporation?
That's right. I said, why you want Christians to support the corporate bylaws of the private corporation, a.k.a. U.S. Constitution, is beyond belief. That document was deceived and deceived the American and so-called Christian who is supposed to have no other gods before them. The U.S. is a god, and that god has its corporate bylaws, Constitution, to go by. I see you too are deceived, just as the Lord admonishes all of us that there will be false gods. A republic is a corporation, whether you know it or not. When you go back to the etymology of the word, Rome was a republic. Rome adopted the law of Hammurabi in becoming a republic. That law is the law merchant's code. It's used in every country of the world. Even the Pope uses it.
Okay.
So you want the Christians to support a law merchant con job? Not for me, and never will. I revere that piece of trash as you do. I see you fell hook, line, and sinker for that corporate document and the corporations that devised it. One day too late, you will wake up. Do you really want their law or his law? You can't be a fence sitter as you are. He never responded to
No, he's not. He's another one like some of those cats on news with views, whatever. And they're I think they're not those like those that right there, and some of the shows on the networks. They continue to perpetrate this basic lie that Christians should get involved in things governmental, and that there really is a justification to try to help out Jehovah by killing people.
Right.
But two things. One, what stuck in my ear is when you said that Hamilton cajoled Washington. I don't think he went kicking and dragging into the night for the bank.
Oh no, of course not.
No. And here's where I'm going with that. All the people on this side of the street, all the ones who get it, know that history, texts, and books that want to perpetuate a certain urban legend, it's all been spun. We know our textbooks have been spun. These people will tell you that. Well, inside that also has always been, even in the secular world, in the world of grammar school and middle school and high school, history textbooks, that this country, it's like behind the backhand, but it's like this country was God-breathed, ordained, yes, only in the sense of God allowed it.
Right.
But there is nothing exceptional about this fictitious thing called the United States.
Right.
But we think that, so therefore, that enabled us to go off for the 20th century and, fight more than any other nation ever has, and still we hold the lead, we would call the league lead, in wars and combat. But, it's because, God is on our side. And it is a fallacy.
Oh, yeah, because you take any other country, and they say the same thing. God is on their side. They're doing right and everything. That's why the Pope created that strife back in 1213 when he used those parts of the Bible for the words. It's for their own benefit. It's like a lot of people might preach. And you can read the Bible, and you can have 5 people read it and get 5 different interpretations. Well, it's what's in the person's mind and their beliefs that they were taught when they were brought up. And like Montgomery said, their core beliefs would be shattered, and they can't realize that their core beliefs are so ingrained in them that they cannot accept the truth when it's put before them?
Well, of late, and I've said this on a couple other shows, I won't belabor it anymore ad nauseum, but to say to you, what struck me as being really, dumbfounded, was when people have, exchanged correspondences with and such over the years, and even some of the show hosts, who have spoken a certain way. All of a sudden, this Ron Paul thing comes up, and everything that they have been believing in, understanding correctly about the Rusev government and what it really is, and it's of Satan because obviously he was given the kingdoms. What does that mean to you folks? And when Christ says, this is not my world, are you making anything of this, folks? Okay. Ron Paul comes out, and I cannot believe the number of people who went from, yeah, this is it, this is our chance, to, well, maybe he is, and it's like, no, it's not maybe, it's not he is. It's like, forget it.
Right.
And then Jones gets behind it, who's supposed to be a Christian, and it's like, I'm looking at this Pied Piper, this what Svengali type of situation, and I'm not believing my eyes or my ears. But when I saw that, I said to myself, who's kidding who here, man? If you so easily can be taken because somebody has promoted himself as your leader, say Jones, I'm saying this, all right, and you're following what he's doing because it's Jones, or have you just chucked or maybe both, you've just chucked your common sense and everything that you've known. And speaking about common sense, let me ask you about this, man. This whole bit about the founding fathers, and they make him as deific as possible, But what I was reading is when they all assembled, the elites down in Philadelphia, right?
Right.
The people in the States, when they saw that the Articles of Confederation were going to get hurled, and they were going to get a constitution, that told them immediately we're just going to slide back into monarchical rule.
Oh, yeah. Because a lot of people, if you get Storing's book on, it's Herbert Storing, the Anti-Federalist. He has all the papers in there from the Pennsylvanian and the Farmer and all these other books that were written by the people of that particular state. And they all knew what was going down, and the Farmer, that was in Pennsylvania, writer, knew after the fact that they were supposed to attend the Philadelphia Convention. They never went. And they mentioned about the corporation and that it was a corporate structure because the Confederation was doing pretty good, and that's why it was doing so good that they had to break it. And Washington and all those other signers, the 55 of them, were going to lose a lot of money if they didn't kowtow to the king and create this corporate structure called the Constitution, which was actually the offshoot, or the United States then would become a child of the parent corporation, which was England, which was, controlled by the Vatican and controlled. And he said the king had told them, look, you got land over here, you got great holdings over here, which they did. And in fact, Benjamin Franklin had 43 different names, and some of them were women's names, and this coincides with that article that I sent you on the name change, that you could change it at will.
Wait, Franklin himself took on 43 different appellations?
Yeah, 43 different names he had, and he boasted about it, and he boasted that he liked to expatriate and go back to the mother country from time to time. It's in his own words and his own writing.
Oh, he was another yeah, I know.
Yeah. And so that corporation, like if you read the Virginia debates in 1788 of Patrick Henry, he knew exactly what was going down.
Right, and I asked you a long time ago, why in the world did he cave? And what did you tell me? Because he at heart is a lawyer.
Yeah. Yep. Yep, he was a lawyer. He was from the Middle Temple, because everything west of Europe was all the lawyers came from the Middle Temple. The inner temples came and stayed within Europe and like that.
Which is obviously the Empire.
Yeah, that's the Empire.